Spencer had forbidden him, but Hobin tells Spencer to go live and says the video's title will be How to Fight and Win Against a Regular Person. Spencer is amazed at Hobin's cool style, but then he sees that Hobin has written his entire speech on his hand. Hobin starts with his old technique, getting hit but not getting hurt. Spencer is scared because Paco has already defeated this move. Paco is also disappointed because Hobin should know that this technique won't work anymore. He moves in to throw a powerful uppercut, and the story flashes back a month. When Hobin was completely humiliated in front of everyone, he realized he had become overconfident. He thought he was a good fighter, but in reality he'd embarrassed himself in front of Bomi. He thought he should probably never meet Bomi again. He also felt that he couldn't face his viewers. But then he thought if he stopped making videos, how would he pay for his mother's hospital bills? He was completely broken, questioning why he was so weak and useless. He thought if this were an anime, a miracle might happen, and he would suddenly become powerful. But Hobin knew this was real life, and such miracles don't happen. Then he realized he had a miracle of his own, his secret YouTube channel. Hobin then started Chicken Man's second lesson, How to Fight and Win Against a Regular Person. Samdok said that Hobin's true hard work would now be tested because the next technique would take a full month to learn. The first of the 3 essential things in fighting is to strengthen your body. Samdok said Hobin would have to consume good quality protein to build his muscles. Professional fighters can compensate for a lack of size with technique, but new fighters can't. They have to make their bodies strong enough to withstand any attack. Hobin made a raw meat shake to get his protein, but as soon as he drank it, he vomited it all up. Actually, Hobin had gotten a bit too enthusiastic and missed a crucial part of the video where Samdok had clearly said to just go buy a protein shake. The second essential thing in fighting is willpower. Hobin didn't have the money to buy a protein shake, but he was taking all this very seriously, so he used his willpower to somehow drink the terrible shake he had made. Samdok also said that eating too much could lead to weight gain, so exercising was also important. The third essential thing in fighting is stamina. Samdok told him that swimming is the best way to increase stamina. Stamina is important because it allows you to last longer in a fight. Samdok also taught a unique way, swimming with clenched fists. This speeds up metabolism. The problem, however, was that swimming pools are for cheerful and lively people, and Hobin is very shy. But his determination was incredible. He just went to a public bath to swim. All this was very hard work, and Hobin was exhausted. Even though Hobin was tired, his spirit never wavered, but he was shocked when Samdok revealed that the changes in his body weren't just from building stamina in 1 month. What he had learned was a strong foundation. Then Samdok said the most important thing a new fighter needs is a technique that acts like a weapon. Hearing this, Hobin became very excited because he was about to learn a super move. Samdok then asked which martial art is the most suitable for a street fight or a brawl. A reporter had once asked a champion martial artist the same question. If there's a weak kid being bullied, which martial art should they learn? The champion's answer was just one skill, and it wasn't even boxing. Now Hobin's excitement was at its peak. Then Samdok said, "Now I will teach you that champion's secret move." Samdok explained how to take the correct stance, all the weight on the front foot, no tension on the back foot, and then twist your body as if looking back. The story now returns to the present. Hobin uses that same MMA-style move on Paco at school, a powerful low kick. Everyone is shocked, and Hobin himself can't believe he actually landed the move. In reality, Samdok had made Hobin practice this low kick 10,000 times over the past month. Samdok had said that if someone works hard with their heart, they will surely get the results because hard work never betrays anyone. Hobin couldn't believe he had landed the kick correctly, but Paco laughed. He already knew the move. He said, "Low kicks are meant for the thigh, but you hit me somewhere else." But then Spencer saw that old man Ding in the chat again, and he said that Hobin had kicked in the exact right spot. Then Spencer was even more shocked when Kim also recognized that Hobin had deliberately used an upgraded MMA-style low kick. Its real name is the calf kick. This kick doesn't affect slowly like others, but causes powerful damage in a single hit. Kim was so impressed that he thought about subscribing to Hobin's channel. Kim remembered his earlier conversation with Hobin and thought Hobin would use this very move next. Stable voice had taught Hobin another important thing. If your opponent is bigger than you, running away is also a skill. Hobin knew that if Paco caught him, he would destroy him, so he kept his distance and landed another calf kick at the right moment. All the spectators in the live chat were stunned, but something felt wrong to Kim. Why wasn't Hobin making his next move? Then Kim and Paco both understood the truth. The truth was that the calf kick was Hobin's only move. Everyone was shocked. Had Hobin come to fight Paco with just one move? Paco shouted, "This move won't work on me anymore." Some doc had explained in his video that the calf kick is very important, but it's also easy to understand. Learning 2 moves in a month is very difficult, but some doc had taught one more move during the training. Paco saw another kick coming, but Hobin wasn't the same as before. Some doc had taught him that his opportunity would come when the opponent focused on just one move. Now Paco's full attention was on Hobin's leg. But then Hobin suddenly screamed, "I'm not a loser anymore!" He clenched his fist and showed the strength he had gained from swimming. A powerful overhead hook landed directly on Paco's face. Paco collapsed. Hobin stood victorious and everyone was stunned. He told Paco, "You're a disgusting person and your story ends here." Some of Paco's friends came to get revenge, but Spencer stopped them. He said, "If you even touch my friend Hobin, the consequences will be terrible." Then Spencer thinks, "If Hobin gets beaten up, so will I, because now I'm his true friend." He didn't know before that Hobin considered him a friend, but after talking to his mother, he was sure. Spencer is surprised that the bullies are scared of him, but the truth is that he is standing there and everyone is scared of him. Kim is also very impressed with Hobin's fight. This fight has made Hobin emotional, and he knows that now is the perfect time to revive his channel. Hobin looks at the camera and says, "Friends, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon." After that day, Paco never came to school again, but Hobin knows he didn't run away out of fear, he left out of shame. Hobin has a strange feeling in his heart. He feels that he didn't truly defeat Paco. After so much hard work, perhaps it was just a lucky punch. Hobin believes that Paco was actually afraid of losing his fame, and this is what gives Hobin the most peace. Such a disgusting person deserves this punishment. And the best part is that Hobin's YouTube channel, Viral Hit, has slowly started to take off. He has over 15,000 subscribers. Hobin promises everyone, "I will work harder and bring better videos." After that, he takes a gift for his mother and pretends that it's very cheap. His mother smiles and says, "Your friend came to meet me a few days ago." Hobin doesn't remember who his mother is talking about. Then we see Spencer standing outside the room with a gift in his hand. His mother reminds him, "The same friend you said gives you energy when he's with you." Now Hobin remembers, but the friend he was talking about was Kim. Spencer is stunned to hear this. He thought Hobin was talking about him. He gets angry and starts fighting with Hobin. "Wasn't I your real friend?" But the reality is that Hobin now considers Spencer his true friend too. As they playfully wrestle, Hobin thinks that Spencer is a bit hot-headed and cranky, but a good person at heart. Sometime later, Spencer suggests to Hobin that they should hire a professional editor. Until now, Spencer had been doing the editing himself, but he's just an amateur. He feels that if the channel is to grow, a good editor is necessary. Even if the content is good, people can get bored if the editing isn't entertaining. Hobin agrees and thinks they'll have to post a listing on a job site, but Spencer has a better idea. Hobin is shocked when he finds out that Spencer was live streaming all this. Spencer's idea is to ask their own viewers if anyone would like to be an editor. The comments make it clear that this might not be the best way, so Hobin clarifies that they're looking for someone with video editing experience. Then Ding, the old man who always analyzes Hobin's fights, comments that he has some editing experience. Spencer is a bit suspicious because the man is old, but Hobin doesn't care about age, he just wants a good editor. Spencer agrees because Hobin wants it. He tells the old man that they will interview him the next day. Hobin says he found the man's profile information, but looking at the profile, Spencer and the others get a little worried. Spencer becomes so concerned that he tells Hobin to block the man. But Hobin stands his ground and says that the old man is coming soon for the interview.
The boys are scared that the old man might start scolding them like adults often do, but they are all shocked to find out that the person is actually a girl. She scolds them and says there's no time to be shocked and they should start the interview. Her name is Gail, and she is known for her cuteness, but is not very popular in her class because she talks like an old man. She tells the young men to start the interview. Gail laughs at her strange way of talking because she uses words like an old man. Then Gail holds his hand and tells him how rude he is. But this touch sends Spencer into a dream world, just like Hobin's fantasies. In the dream, Spencer comes home after a long day at work and gives his wife Gail a bouquet of flowers. But one bouquet has no flowers, so he prepares to say a romantic line just like Hobin had in his imagination. But then Spencer's dog, whose name is Hobin, wakes him up. Half asleep, Spencer tells Hobin to sit, be a good boy. But then he comes to his senses. He can't believe he had such a big dream just from her touching his hand. Then they watch the video Gail has edited. The intro itself impresses Hobin a lot. Spencer just keeps looking at her small hands and thinks he wishes he could have a thumb wrestling match with her. Spencer wants to hire her immediately, but Hobin says they have to watch the whole video first. Gail has even edited the viewers' funny comments into the video, which is a special part of Hobin's channel. Hobin still can't decide whether to hire her or not, so he asks if she had any trouble while editing. Gail says she had trouble removing some sensitive content, including something on Hobin's underwear that had to be edited out. Hobin is very embarrassed, so he just agrees to hire Gail. Seeing her skills, Hobin realizes she could get a job anywhere, so he is surprised why she wants to work with them. Gail says she is just their fan, so they both agree to work together. On the other side, Boomy sees the announcement of Viral Hit's new editor. She wonders if Hobin has time for a YouTube channel, so has he ever intended to call or text her? And worse, Hobin doesn't even pick up her phone. Then some people gather nearby and everyone looks worried. Boomy goes to see and is shocked. Many boys have been beaten up. Nearby, a boy named Clay is playing an arcade game. A big man comes up and asks him if he was the one who defeated everyone. Clay is more concerned and asks the man if he has 50 cents to continue the game. At Hobin's house, Spencer tells him about a man named Taekwon. He was a former fighter in the Max MMA League, but was kicked out for causing too many fights and troubles. There are many bad rumors about him. It is said that every student in his high school was beaten up by him at least once. Spencer says that Taekwon has been learning Taekwondo since childhood, but Spencer is not very impressed with Taekwondo. He thinks it's useless. Spencer feels that Taekwondo is not a very strong fighting style, because according to him, it's just about dodging kicks. If someone comes to kick, you should just grab their leg and trip them. Spencer even says he himself can defeat any Taekwondo fighter.
Stable Gail scolds them and says that all this talk is just a beginner's way of thinking. She explains that the Taekwondo that is not good for street fighting is called sport Taekwondo, but combat Taekwondo is completely different. Sport Taekwondo has points and time limits, but the real goal of combat Taekwondo is to knock out the opponent directly. Then we see a live demo of this. The same boy who was playing the arcade game suddenly kicks the big man in the face. Gail explains that there was once an experiment where the speed and power of the kicks of different martial arts fighters were measured. Muay Thai and karate fighters had good range, but the Taekwondo fighter's kick surpassed everyone. His kick's maximum speed was 220 kilometers per hour, and its power was over 1,000 kilograms. Hobin doesn't understand what all this has to do with him. Then Spencer reminds him that his channel is for defeating bullies. Then Spencer reveals that Hobin's next fight is with Taekwon. Hobin acts cool at first and says yes, but as soon as he fully understands the situation, he starts to tremble with fear inside. Gail explains that Taekwondo is very famous nowadays, and many MMA fighters use it. Even Discount Mike Tyson said that Taekwondo is a good fighting style. Gail explains that Taekwondo has a unique move called the back kick, where you can attack your opponent with your back turned to them. The arcade boy lands this kick and takes down the big man in one blow. Spencer had gotten this guy's details from their viewers, which Hobin thinks is a great idea. But the real tension is that Taekwon is not an ordinary bully. He is a professional fighter. Hobin thinks he is about to fight not a human, but a monster. He wishes he had just made food videos. There would be no fighting mess. Then more frightening things about Taekwon come out. In school, he is called the Gangbook High's Devil. He is a psychopath whom the whole school fears. People believe he just steals expensive things. But the truly scary thing is that he holds people's friends hostage and beats them up badly in front of them so that they can't do anything and break down inside. Hobin can't even read about him. Taekwon turned out to be far more dangerous than Paco. Hobin is trembling with fear. Spencer reminds him that he can't break the promise he made to his viewers. Hobin replies that he only promised to fight bullies, not professional fighters. Gail likes the idea of beating up bullies so much that she wants to fight Taekwon herself. But Hobin doesn't have any motivation to fight because he hasn't even seen Taekwon. Meanwhile, Taekwon is lost in a dream of becoming rich. Then some bullies come for revenge, but as soon as Taekwon sees them, he starts asking for 50 cents to go back and play the arcade game. One of the big men tells Taekwon that Taekwondo is just for show, and as soon as he catches him, it will all be over. But Taekwon easily dodges his move and throws him in the air. Then he unleashes a barrage of kicks. Taekwon asks for 50 cents again. The big man gets scared and agrees to give it. But Taekwon says he was talking to his friend. The friend also gets scared and agrees to give the money. Taekwon then says he now needs $50. The friend agrees again. But then Taekwon beats up the big man more and says he now needs $5,000. The friend says he doesn't have that much, so Taekwon says the man will be punished. Spencer is secretly recording a video nearby and gets scared because Taekwon is a bigger psychopath than the rumors. Spencer remembers that they had made a promise to their viewers, but now he thinks it's better to stay away from this madman. Suddenly, Taekwon looks at him and Spencer quickly hides. Later, Hobin praises his friend's hard work, but also tells him to be careful next time. He is happy that Spencer is safe, but then he realizes that if Taekwon finds them, their lives are over. Then Spencer tells Taekwon that he was just making a video because his Taekwondo is so cool. Hobin is happy that Spencer is such a good talker because maybe he can talk his way out of this trouble. This is the perfect opportunity for him because Hobin hasn't decided yet whether to fight Taekwon or not. After all, he is not a hero who always fights for justice, and his body can't withstand every fight. At that moment, Gail arrives and thinks Taekwon might be harming them. Hobin is scared that Gail might try to fight Taekwon because if that happens, it could create trouble like the Bomi emergency. But Gail stops quickly, and Hobin realizes that she is just as scared inside as they are.
They try to explain to Taekwon that they will just delete the video and leave quietly. But everyone is shocked when Taekwon recognizes that they are from the viral hit channel. He has heard that they are thinking of fighting him and also that their channel makes a lot of money. So Taekwon tells Hobin, "Give me your channel." This might sound like Taekwon is just an ordinary bully, but he is not. Taekwon does exactly what the rumors say about him. He holds his victims' friends hostage, and this time, he hits Spencer. Now they remember that Taekwon doesn't really care about the things he takes. His real goal is to make people feel helpless and ashamed as they watch their friends get beaten up. Taekwon once again tells Hobin, "Give me your YouTube channel." And then, as if nothing happened, he asks for 50 cents. Hobin was so shocked that he couldn't do anything, and Taekwon started hitting Spencer. He couldn't believe someone could beat someone so badly for just 50 cents. The man asks for their YouTube channel again, but Spencer refuses to give it up because they had put a lot of hard work into that channel. Hobin tries to intervene, but Taekwon threatens him and demands the channel. Hobin starts to feel scared just by Taekwon's presence. He feels that if he clashes with Taekwon, his kicks and punches will be useless. He feels certain that he will lose. So he agrees to give up the channel. Everyone is shocked, and Taekwon slaps him. Hobin doesn't do anything because he just wants the violence to stop. He realizes that people like Taekwon have no shame and no fear of losing, which is why nothing affects them. After this, Hobin takes Spencer to the hospital because Taekwon's single kick had broken some of his ribs. Hobin knew Spencer was very angry, but he feels that if he hadn't listened to Taekwon, the situation would have been much worse. Hobin wanted the police to handle everything from now on, but Spencer explains that he doesn't want to give up his YouTube channel at any cost, even if he has to get beaten up. He believes that when Hobin stood his ground against Paco, it inspired him a lot. He felt that if a weak person could do that, maybe he could also be brave. Spencer wonders if Hobin has no regard for his own self-respect, but clearly Hobin says he has no problem if he has no self-respect. He says that self-respect doesn't fill your stomach. Paco was just a bully, but Taekwon is a professional. Hobin admits he is scared because Taekwon neutralized the attacks that Hobin had worked so hard to learn. Hobin just doesn't want to get hurt, and he apologizes because he doesn't know what else to do. Gail comes to meet Spencer. Spencer talks with a smile and jokes that if he were in better condition, he would get revenge on Taekwon. But as soon as Gail sits down, Spencer says he is very tired and wants to be alone for a while to rest. After Gail leaves, Spencer starts crying. He wanted to impress her, but instead his weakness was exposed. He feels that Gail now knows how useless and weak he is, and he feels very ashamed. Hobin, standing outside the door, hears all this and remembers the moment when he had to face humiliation in front of Bomi. At the arcade, some boys lose to Taekwon in a fighting game. Hobin arrives there and takes their place. Everyone is shocked when Hobin defeats Taekwon, and that too without taking a single hit. Taekwon can't believe it, and Hobin says that Taekwondo isn't that special. Hobin was using the same trick he learned in Samdak's first lesson, making his opponent angry. This trick works, and Taekwon gets annoyed. Inside, Hobin is very scared, but on the outside he looks calm. He says he has come to give Taekwon the YouTube channel, but in reality, he is live streaming the entire scene. Suddenly, he reveals that he will only give the channel if Taekwon defeats him in a fight a month later. Hobin himself feels like he has gone crazy for challenging a pro. Taekwon angrily asks what Hobin would do if he demanded the channel right now. But Hobin confidently says again, "Are you scared that if I get time to prepare, you will lose?" This angers Taekwon so much that he breaks the arcade machine and accepts Hobin's condition.
Later, Hobin tells his friends everything. Gail is very angry because now she will be worried about Hobin. She says that if Taekwon hurts Hobin, she will show him her special calf kick. Spencer knows why Hobin suddenly changed his mind. Hobin just says that he understands that feeling. He remembers how sad Spencer was, but he doesn't say it openly. Hobin now gets ready for the fight and thinks about how fast a month passes. That night, Hobin watches Samdak's Lesson 3 video, which explains how a regular person can defeat a Taekwondo fighter. This technique involves using a power strip, and Hobin practices hanging from it with all his strength. It looks a bit strange, but Hobin has complete faith in this training because the same training had brought him victory before. A scene from earlier is shown where Hobin was watching Lesson 3 for the first time. He is shocked when Samdak says that it is impossible for a regular person to defeat a professional Taekwondo fighter. Common sense says that a regular person should give up in such a fight. Hobin, with hopeful eyes, begs his master for a way out. But Samdak creates more fear. He says that if a regular person gets hit by a Taekwondo back kick, the result could be death. Taekwondo kicks are very powerful and a regular person has no chance. Hobin is filled with fear because he had never heard his master talk like this. He starts to wonder if it's really impossible for a regular person to defeat a pro. Then Samdak asks, will all these things still be true if the fight is outside the ring? He reminds them that he is teaching how to fight, not a martial art. Then Samdak reveals the real secret to defeating a Taekwondo fighter. Don't let them use their legs. He explains that Taekwondo's footwork and kicks become useless on a slippery and wet floor. The effectiveness of every martial art depends on its environment, so Hobin just has to fight in a place where Taekwon can't use his legs. Thinking this, Hobin decides to challenge Taekwon to a fight on a rainy day. After finalizing the location, Samdak tells his viewers to improve their calf kicks and overhead hooks. Hobin does his previous training to make his body stronger. He also gains some confidence because Taekwon's advantage will be reduced and Hobin can rely on the moves he already knows. But Samdak also makes it clear that even after doing all this, it will not be enough for a regular person to defeat a professional fighter. Even with all the conditions met, the chances of winning are only 5%. But if he has one move, this possibility can increase to 40%. This move is the tackle. The tackle is the move that fighters who rely mostly on kicking hate.
To learn this, Samdak did water training which strengthens muscles, heart, lungs and stamina. The tackle requires the most core muscles, so Samdak tells Hobin to focus on them for the next month. Then the story returns to the present. Hobin's friends come looking for him and are surprised to see him hanging from a bar in his closet. Hobin is exhausted, and it turns out that Samdak's training was just this, hanging from anything. Hobin asks what they're doing there. Spencer says he came to live stream Hobin's training because they can't sit idle for a whole month. Gail sees a strange garbage bag lying nearby. But it's actually another of Hobin's training stations. When Hobin's chances of winning reached 40%, Samdak wanted him to reach 50%. For this, he also started Hobin's abs training. An alarm goes off and Hobin immediately starts doing sit-ups without delay. His body has now become like a machine. Spencer thinks that all this training has made Hobin crazy because according to him doing sit-ups can't defeat Taekwon. But Gail calls him childish and says what Hobin is doing is completely right. She repeats Samdak's words, explaining that Taekwondo kicks are very dangerous even if they don't land with full force. So it's important to build a body that can withstand them. Gail can't just fought, so she kicks Hobin in the stomach to make his sit-ups more effective. Spencer still has a crush on Gail, so he gets jealous. The day of the fight arrives and Hobin's viral YouTube channel followers are talking about it in public. Hobin asks himself if he can really defeat a pro fighter. But then he thinks about all his training. He has also chosen a narrow street on a rainy day for the fight. The street is not so narrow that it will completely stop Taekwon's kicks, but it can still help to some extent. Due to the rain, the floor will be slippery and Taekwon won't be able to kick properly. Hobin prays in his heart that the rain starts now. Then Spencer says that the weather forecast has been completely wrong for the past 2 weeks. Spencer is happy because the rain will ruin the video footage, but Hobin gets scared. The absence of rain ruins all his plans and fighting in that location becomes meaningless. Samdak had already said that if a pro Taekwondo fighter's kicks are not stopped, it is impossible for a regular person to win. Hobin gives up and runs away from there. Spencer apologizes to his viewers. On the other side, Taekwon is watching all this. He knows that Hobin will now have to give up his YouTube channel. Taekwon starts to think that he is about to become rich and what he will buy first. Then a splash of water hits Taekwon, which shocks him. Taekwon gets angry and we see that Hobin did this with a hose. Hobin reminds himself what the first lesson of fighting was, to make your opponent angry. This works, as Taekwon angrily asks what Hobin is doing. In the third lesson of fighting, ways to defeat a Taekwondo fighter was taught, and Hobin did exactly what was taught to stop Taekwon's kicks. He flooded the bathroom floor with water. It didn't rain, so Hobin made his own rain. Now Taekwon can't use his kicks, and Hobin thinks he can defeat him. He confidently tells his viewers to subscribe to his channel. But Taekwon gets angry and suddenly punches Hobin in the face. Hobin is a bit shocked and thinks what kind of strike was this because his vision has become a bit white. Taekwon is disappointed to see that this was Hobin's whole plan, and he is also very disappointed in Samdak. He wonders if Hobin really prepared for a whole month just to splash water to stop Taekwon's kicks. Then Taekwon starts slapping Hobin. Hobin quickly realizes that this is not like the fight with Paco. He starts to feel dizzy, but he still works hard. Taekwon is surprised to see that Hobin lands a powerful calf kick. The chat doesn't understand how Hobin landed a kick while being in the water. Then they realize that Hobin was wearing water shoes. These shoes don't slip in water, and Hobin had fought in the pool with these very shoes. Hobin himself admits that he is in a lot of pain and really wants to give up. But then he gets some confidence when Spencer reminds them that it's almost been 3 minutes, so they can put ads in the video. Hobin dodges Taekwon's attack and wonders how Taekwon can be so fast. He thought that Taekwon would slip because the floor is wet and he's not wearing water shoes. Hobin had easily defended against Paco, but Taekwon is anticipating every one of his movements. Now Taekwon has complete control of the fight. For the first time, Hobin understands how important footwork is. Taekwon looks like he is slipping, but he still gets very close to Hobin. He is using a professional-like technique. Now Hobin can't run away, but he doesn't care. He lands a calf kick and thinks that he has also worked hard. Hobin assures himself that this fight is not over yet, but he has taken many blows and his stamina is decreasing. Now he has only one option, another calf kick. Spencer thinks he wishes Hobin would stop shouting the name of his move when he attacks. He feels that Taekwon will now knock him out. Hobin does the calf kick again, and Spencer is shocked because he now starts to think that maybe Hobin keeps shouting the name of the move to distract the opponent. He remembers that Hobin had done the same thing with Paco. He said kick, but actually landed a punch, and the same thing happens now. Hobin says calf kick, but actually performs a tackle attack.
In the previous flashback, it is shown that Samdak knew that his viewers might never be able to do a tackle correctly because they did not have faith in themselves. Samdak had explained that a real tackle happens when you grab the back of the knees and pull, only then can you take down even the biggest opponent. Hobin now does the same, a technique called a double leg tackle. Samdak had said that if you take down the opponent, your chances of winning increase to more than 50%. Spencer gets very excited and thinks that now Hobin just has to land one punch and Taekwon will lose. But Samdak had warned not to punch the opponent after they fall, because they are a professional. Instead, he had taught the next step in advance. Put your hand under the fallen opponent's collar. Grab the clothes tightly and pull hard. Then grab the other collar with your other hand in the same way. Samrat tells his viewers to clench their fists the same way they did while hanging from the pole. Hobin is confident that he can do this because he believes that hard work always pays off.